Welcome back to Toy and Tarot. I'm Gary, and this is Punky. Hi, Punky. So, not David's in the shed. It's raining cats and dogs out there. So, I'm leaving not David in the shed. I got Punky here to sit in for me, which is good. And I put a new battery in the cat clock, so the tail and the eyes are happy, happy, happy. Hey, how you guys doing? It is 6:30 on Monday night. Dave's got some stuff that he's got going on, so I'm doing a solo read. There's a couple things I wanted to read on. There are a number of folks in the comments that were talking about Dominion voting systems being sold, and it was bought by a quote-unquote MAGA group. So I hadn't read anything about that. Didn't seem to be making a lot of headlines, so I took a look, and yes, indeed, Dominion Voting was bought out by a company called Liberty Vote. Liberty Vote is run by Scott Leyendecker, or Leyendecker. I think it's Leyendecker is how you pronounce it. He was out of St. Louis. He was a Republican election director in St. Louis. He basically, Liberty Vote is a private company. There's no stock, there's no board of directors, or no shareholders. It is owned by Scott Leyendecker and or Leyendecker. Dominion had 30% of the votes in the basically 30% of the voting systems were Dominion voting systems in the 2024 election. And Scott Leyendecker is a definite conservative Republican, Trump-supporting type of person. Because you start looking at the rhetoric. First, the name of the company, Liberty Vote. Okay, here we go, right? You can almost picture the pickup trucks with the flags flying off the back, right? And his statement that he put out was that the acquisition of Dominion by Liberty Vote is a bold and historic move to transform and improve election integrity in America. You know, he's already starting to hit the Trump buzzwords, right? It's going to be a paper ballot centered election system. So I wanted to take a look at that. Now, you know, for a lot of us, that causes us to get the willies, right? It's like, oh shit, you know. There's already voter suppression going on. We're not entirely sure what the hell happened in the 2024 election and whether there was election interference via Elon Musk. We're still waiting to get the information out of Rockland County. And apparently in Minnesota, there was some unusual shenanigans going on with the voting. There's some unusual anomalies in the voting. And now you've got this definitely a right-wing, somewhat partisan, a right-wing partisan person who has now bought the voting machines that were in 30% of the 2024 election. They don't say how much he paid for it. I mean, Dominion just settled a bunch of lawsuits. And they had, you know, over 800 million. They had as part of the buyout was you had to settle, you know, get rid of all your lawsuits and settle the lawsuits. So Dominion could have probably gotten more money by going through the courts, but for whatever reason, the owners of the Dominion Systems company decided they wanted to sell, and so now Scott Leyendecker owns it, and you know, there might have been some back scratching going on there, right? I'm sure he paid a pretty penny for it. Now, he's been involved in educational matters, automating stuff for education. What else I was reading was he's helped automate some of the when you go into the voting area, they've got like an iPad, and you can basically log in that you're there to vote, you know, basically checking in that you're registered to vote and that you're here to vote. So, you know, he's obviously has some experience with this stuff. But first I want to take a look at the general energy around Dominion and Liberty Vote. And then I want to look at the energy around the owner now, Scott Leyendecker. What's his story? And then what do we need to know about the 2026 election? I'm nervous. I am suspicious. I am not trusting of this, especially after what we've gone through. The fact that he wants to make this paper ballot focused, okay, fine. That means that we have a audit trail if things look funky. I mean, Trump's insisting on paper ballots, which, hey, we're all for it. I just pulled the devil card I put. When I cut the deck, the devil's on the bottom, and just before I cut it, it's now buried safely in the middle of the deck. But let's take a look at the general energy around Dominion voting and Liberty vote. Entertainment purposes only. I'll tilt the camera so you get a good picture of Punky there. All right, what do we need to know? Okay. Foundation of the reading is the strength card. Okay, so the general energy around Liberty vote and Dominion strength card. Okay, let's keep going. I might have to throw a couple before I can start putting a narrative around this. Okay, the cross is the Five of Wands, the chaos around it. Okay, so the energy on this, what I'm getting from this is we need to show that the way we count votes, the way we process votes, is strong. It basically, there is integrity there, and it's strong. Because right now, in 2020, it was a Republican saying that there was a bunch of chaos and crazy things going on. In 2024, it was a Democrat saying there's a bunch of chaos and crazy things going on. They may both be right. They may both be wrong. But we need to start showing strength that we have mastery over our voting. I'm not saying that we don't have it. I'm not saying that there weren't shenanigans. I'm just trying to interpret what I'm seeing here. The energy underneath it is the Ten of Cups, the happy family. Unfortunately, this has become a real card of Republicans winning and getting their way. And I think that's kind of the feeling that many of us are getting on this, is that, MAGA and the Republicans have, achieved another victory. In the past, you've got the justice. This could be all of the court cases where Dominion was winning the lawsuits against Fox and Newsmax and Rudy Giuliani, for example. These are all people that were sued and that lost lawsuits and had to settle with Dominion. Current energy is the Five of Cups, sorrow, and let's face it, a lot of us are feeling this way. And this could be multi-level. This is certainly, I'm feeling this way, that Dominion is now being bought out by Liberty Vote, which feels very MAGA. And do you really want a very partisan ownership over 30% of your votes? I mean, how much are you going to trust that, right? Now, Scott's saying, oh, yeah, we're going to have third-party audits and blah, blah, blah. But, who's doing the third-party audits? The cyber ninjas? Or some real, is it going to be more like a real audit firm, like a Price Waterhouse, for example? The other kind of that feeling of sorrow is just that our elections seem to be, no one seems to trust them right now. Overarching energy is the Wheel of Fortune. The future is to be determined. Anything can happen at this point. It could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. Lesson to be learned, Three of Cups. Once again, this is kind of MAGA Republicans celebrating yet another victory. They've got the happy family and the Three of Cups. When Kamala was running, that was kind of the women voters celebrating Kamala's win. Turned out it wasn't the women voters. It was just, MAGA celebrating a victory. What's the outcome? What's the general energy outcome between Dominion and Liberty? Four of Cups. Not happy with what we're seeing, but there's something good that's going to come from this, as hard as that may be to believe. Maybe I'm just being super optimistic. And I'm sure there are many of you that will flame me in the comments about being too optimistic about this. Hey, I'm just trying to interpret the cards. I know what Gary the analyst thinks. Gary the analyst is like, this is not good news. The cards are kind of like, well, it's to be determined. Maybe it's not good news in the short run, but it turns out to be really good news in the long run. I mean, one thing's for sure, if the Democrats really have a blue wave and they really show strong results in the next election, the Republicans can't cry foul because they got their own, systems that owned by people that are sympathetic to the cause. And so, if you can't win those elections, right? Okay, so let's take a look at Scott Leyendecker, the energy around him. Apologies if I'm not pronouncing his name correctly. I looked at 2 or 3 things online, and no one wants to pronounce this guy's last name. So, okay, what's the energy around this guy? 7 of Pentacles. He's invested his money, and he sees how he can make a lot of investments, or the Pentacles can be in money, it could be votes. It's, I've made this investment and now I have oversight on the votes. The challenge, Queen of Cups. Okay, this is about keeping a lid on your emotions. There's probably, like I said, MAGA's really thrilled about it. He's probably thrilled about it. For the rest of us, we have to wait and see how this plays out. I know, once again, I get it. And if you're going to flame me, I get it. I will not be offended if you want to flame me that I'm being optimistic or I'm giving too much credit. But that's kind of how I'm reading it. The Queen of Cups is about being in control of your emotions. That's the challenge. Because right now, we're in a bit of a panic state. Energy underneath it is the Star. This is about democracy, and this is about having accurate and fair elections. So far, his intentions seem decent. In the past, the Empress doing what's best for everybody, making sure you're taking care of things that are important. The 8 of Pentacles, this is getting to work, being busy, making sure that those votes are counted correctly. Overarching energy is the Ace of Pentacles. It's a new opportunity to count votes. Lesson to be learned is the 5 of Cups. So that was in the previous reading, that 5 of Cups, I think that was the current energy. And this is the lesson to be learned. People are unhappy with all the seeds of doubt that have been sown about the accuracy of our elections. And it's led to this. I mean, who the hell heard of Dominion voting systems prior to 2020, right? None of us knew what this company was flying so far under the radar. And then, Trump and his fact-free accusations brought them into the limelight. What's the outcome about Scott Leyendecker? 5 of Pentacles. Okay, so this is people who are... So the 5 of Pentacles is about people who are on the outside looking in. People who are being neglected. People who are being ignored, shunned. So... How do I want to read this? Whenever I see the 5 of Pentacles, I'm always thinking, the folks with the money are inside and are warm, and the folks that don't have the money are on the outside in the cold. I think in his case, it's just this is going to be hard for people to believe. He truly thinks that what he is going to do is going to bring more election integrity, that people who feel like the elections are rigged and that their votes aren't being counted, that he has something to offer on that. And I'm not saying that's how it's going to play out. That's how he feels. That's the energy on Scott Leyendecker. So it's I don't think he's got a wax mustache that he's twisting and he's cackling to himself. But man, he had to pay at least $1 billion, right? I mean, this company had over $800 million just in cash, right? So where do you get that kind of money? How do you get that kind of money? In fact, why don't we ask that? Where does he get this kind of money? And is he really in control of this, or are there people behind the scenes? I mean, he may have all the great intentions of the world, but if there's someone behind him pulling the strings, it doesn't matter what he wants, right? Okay, so let's take a look at that. Is there anything that we need to know that's going on behind the scenes? What's the energy behind the scenes of this? King of Wands, taking bold actions. Six of Pentacles, giving back a little bit to make everything look fair, but keeping a whole lot to yourself. Four of Wands, celebrating this victory. Oops. Seven of Wands, defending actions that have been taken in the past, probably. And then for the benefit of the voting systems, the benefit of our democracy. Okay, I'm getting very consistent readings so far. That MAGA or the Republicans are thrilled by this, but it seems at least the intentions are to ensure things are accurate and fair. All right, let's take a look at the 2026 election impacts on this. What are the impacts going to be in the 2026 election? Are we going to have more finger pointing and accusations of voter fraud and election manipulation, or is this going to help? Is this going to help in the 2026 elections? Oh, hey, I got some new crystals. My wife brought home a couple from London. So I'll have to ask Dave what they are. I will call this a pink crystal, and I will call this a brown and white crystal that kind of looks like topaz. Okay, so that's my technical terms. Okay, so what are the 2026 election impacts? Okay, foundation is the Hierophant. It's about the government, institutions, the heartbreak and betrayal. That's the challenge, is the heartbreak and betrayal of the government institutions. Whether this is the voting systems or whether this is the actions of our congressmen and our executive branch or our judiciary. Energy underneath it, Ace of Cups. This is about passion, new emotions, passions coming forth. No doubt the 2026 election is going to be the most passionate election that we have ever had. 2020, certainly 2016 was passionate, 2020 was passionate, 2024 was passionate. This is the most because there's a lot of folks that effed around and found out. So let's see what goes from there. In the past, Seven of Swords, the accusations of things being stolen. Current energy is the Seven of Wands. Now taking actions to defend against future actions of stealing. Overarching energy is the Eight of Swords. It seems like there's no other path forward. That right now we're just kind of locked in this loop of one side accusing the other of stealing and the other side defending the results. And we're kind of stuck in this loop. Lesson to be learned is it's about balance. Balancing and making sure that everything is there's checks and balances in this. That's kind of what I'm feeling with that. Outcome is the Four of Wands, both sides celebrating. I don't know, maybe 2026 election will be okay. I'm not getting anything bad. I'm not getting the Devil card. I'm not getting the Ten of Swords. I did get the Five of Cups, but that's not surprising. I mean, we're all just saddened by what the hell's been going on in this country, right? So that's what I got for that. I'm only going to do one reading. Oops. I just saw a pig bikini cover fly off. So I have a hunch my star card is topless right now, and I'm not going to... I got to be careful when I give out the shout outs. I'll have to take a peek at the card and make sure I'm not flashing anyone because I don't want to get canceled. So that's what I got. Let's not panic yet. This may all work out just fine. And if it doesn't, well, flame me in the comments. I can take it. I'm a big boy. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate you. Leave a comment. I read them all, respond to many. Even the ones that flame me. I'll take it on the chin, I promise. I want to give, subscribe and hit the bell. YouTube cleans up their algorithms every now and again. And I noticed that the last couple of weeks we've had negative subscribers, which usually doesn't happen. There's very few people that actively unsubscribe. So that's usually YouTube just cleaning stuff up. So if you like this content and you want to be subscribed and you hit the bell and you're alerted at midnight Pacific time that we've posted another video, check your subscription status. And I want to give a couple of shout outs to the folks out there that have taken time to leave comments or made kind and thoughtful contributions to the channel. Okay, so the first shout out, hey, Norma Stone. Hi, Norma. Norma is a frequent commenter to the channel. She says, I look forward to starting my day with y'all, but I despair of ever getting a shout out. Well, guess what, Norma? You've got your shout out. And you've got the Page of Swords. Go out there and take on the world today because you got your shout out. See, we've got the next one. Oh, hey, Linda from Virginia, or from VA. I'm assuming that's Virginia, right? Linda made a great contribution to the channel. David, I truly appreciate that. David and Gary, you get the giggles for the Peace Prize. Yes, that was Trump's consolation Peace Prize. That was a fun video. And you get the High Priestess because you clearly have much knowledge and wisdom. Thank you so much, Linda. Totally appreciate that. Oh, yes. Here is a special shout out. Now, I'm going to probably butcher the last name, and I apologize in advance, Kenneth, for butchering your last name. Nyakabwa. Kenneth Nyakabwa. It's Nyakabwa. Kenneth loves to flame me in the comments. Kenneth, you've left 11 comments. All 11 of them are left-handed compliments or absolutely flaming me for being a Republican and or MAGA leaning. The last one was Gary's always trying to make excuses on behalf of the Republican Party, MAGA, so-called blah, blah, blah. We understand Gary's still in the MAGA state of mind, denial, 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 common Gary. It's like, Kenneth, oh my God, yes, I am a registered Republican. I am not MAGA, Kenneth. Truly, I am not. I am the epitome of a rhino. I have not voted for a Republican presidential candidate in over 20 years. I am actually becoming more progressive on a daily basis. I am not as progressive as many that watch this channel. I freely admit that. I'm also kind of a person that's sort of positive, and I'm always trying to at least understand the other side. I don't just throw people under the bus just because I don't agree with them. Although I have to say MAGA does inflame me quickly, and I have no tolerance for the nonsense that comes out of the MAGA party. So Kenneth, I respect you, but please, I am not MAGA. But I'm going to give you a card just the same. There you go. 9 of Cups, hopes, wishes, dreams fulfilled. Maybe one day I'll be progressive and liberal enough that you'll send me some positive juju in the comments. And then a final shout out to Michelle, also known as Kentucky Belle. Hi, Michelle. Hopefully your husband's out there watching movies and letting you watch Dave and I. Of course, it's Punky and I do these readings for you guys today. And Ace of Swords, you go out there and you show your truth there, Michelle. Totally appreciate you. Anyways, I hope you're all having a wonderful day, and I'll catch you soon. Take care, folks. Oh, hey, I guess a card for the rest of us. All right. Oops, almost forgot that. That's why it's not good for me to not have David here. Okay, the card for the rest of us is the Queen of Swords. Like Michelle, go out there and share your truth with the people around you, even Kenneth. Hope you all have a great day, folks. Take care. Bye.